is crowded, you still can find some room for a broken heart.
1950s, the decade when rock and roll was born. A time of leather jackets, jukeboxes, and rebellion in every guitar riff. These songs didn't just play on the radio, they defined an entire generation. And somehow, more than 60 years later, they still sound as fresh, wild, and alive as ever. Let's turn back the clock. Here are 10 rock and roll classics from the 1950s that still sound fresh today. Number 10. Bill Haley and His Comets, Rock Around the Clock. It wasn't just a song, it was the ignition of a movement. Rock Around the Clock made teenagers everywhere feel like the world finally spoke their language. When it hit the film Blackboard Jungle in 1955, the reaction was chaos. Kids dancing in theater aisles, adults panicking about youth gone wild. Bill Haley might not have had the swagger of Elvis, but he lit the fuse that made rock and roll explode worldwide. Even today, the opening 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock rock still sparks an instant smile. It's more than a tune. It's the anthem of rebellion, the sound of freedom's first roar. Number 9. Little Richard, Tutti Frutti, 1955. When Little Richard screamed, "Bam-boom," the world changed forever. That opening line wasn't just nonsense, it was raw electricity. His wild piano pounding and explosive energy broke barriers of race, genre, and sound. Tutti Frutti became the heartbeat of 1950s youth, reckless, loud, and gloriously free. Artists from the Beatles to David Bowie later said they owed everything to Little Richard. Listen to it now, and you'll still feel that same jolt of pure adrenaline. It's not nostalgia, it's rock and roll at its wildest. Number 8. Elvis Presley, Jailhouse Rock, 1957. If there's one track that defines swagger, it's this one. Elvis didn't just sing Jailhouse Rock, he owned it. With his hip-shaking, defiant grin and that unmistakable voice, he turned a simple movie tune into an eternal anthem. It's playful, rebellious, and timelessly cool. Every guitar riff still feels dangerous. Every lyric drips charisma. Jailhouse Rock wasn't just about a fictional jail. It was about breaking free from the old world. Decades later, no one moves like Elvis, and no song captures his spirit quite like this one. Number 7. Chuck Berry, Johnny B. Good, 1958. A boy with a guitar dreaming of fame. That's the story behind Johnny B. Good, and maybe behind rock and roll itself. Chuck Berry didn't just invent a riff, he invented an attitude. His sharp storytelling and electric solos laid the blueprint for every rock guitarist that followed. From the Rolling Stones to AC/DC, Berry's DNA runs through their veins. Even now, that opening lick can make anyone pick up an air guitar and smile. Johnny B. Good isn't old, it's eternal. Number 6. Buddy Holly, Peggy Sue, 1957. Behind his thick glasses was a quiet genius who shaped modern rock songwriting. Peggy Sue was simple, yet revolutionary. Its rolling drum beat and hiccuping vocals inspired generations. Buddy Holly showed that rock could be sweet and smart, not just wild and loud. When the Beatles and Stones began writing their own songs, they followed the path he built. Peggy Sue still feels innocent, heartfelt, and impossibly catchy. Every time it plays, it reminds us of a talent gone far too soon. Number 5. Jerry Lee Lewis, Great Balls of Fire, 1957. Before rock stars smashed guitars, Jerry Lee Lewis was smashing pianos. Great Balls of Fire was pure chaos in motion. His fingers flying, his voice howling. his hair dripping sweat. It was scandalous, wild, and utterly unforgettable. In an era that tried to stay polite, Jerry Lee was the storm that no one could tame. More than half a century later, his raw energy still leaps out of the speakers. You don't just listen to Great Balls of Fire. You survive it. Number 4. The Everly Brothers, Bye Bye Love, 1957. Sweet harmonies, heartbreak, and a timeless melody. Bye Bye Love brought a softer, emotional edge to rock and roll, blending country roots with teenage soul. Don and Phil Everly's voices moved as one, beautiful, aching, unforgettable. Their influence stretched far. Simon and Garfunkel, the Beatles, even Fleetwood Mac took notes from their harmony magic. The song may say Bye Bye Love, but it's one we'll never say goodbye to. Number 3, Richie Valens, La Bamba, 1958. At just 17, Richie Valens changed history. Mixing traditional Mexican roots with American rock, La Bamba became one of the first crossover hits, and proof that music had no borders. His life was tragically short, but La Bamba lives on, joyful and defiant. Every chord still celebrates the dream of a kid who believed rock and roll belonged to everyone. When that rhythm hits, it's impossible not to move. It's pure happiness, frozen in time. Number 2, Ray Charles, What'd I Say, 1959. Before soul had a name, Ray Charles gave it one. What I Say was born from an onstage improvisation, yet it sounded like destiny. The gospel roots, the electric piano, the call and response, it was raw passion on record. Audiences didn't just listen, they felt. Ray blurred every musical line, R&B, gospel, rock, into something brand new. Even now it sounds alive, daring, and far ahead of its time. Without What I Say, rock and roll might never have found its soul. Number 1. Elvis Presley, Hound Dog, 1956. The growl, the groove, the legend. Hound Dog was Elvis at his most untamed, snarling and confident. When he performed it on TV, it sent parents into panic and kids into frenzy. It was rock and roll's first true cultural earthquake. The beat still kicks, the attitude still bites. It's the sound of a world about to change forever. In every way, Hound Dog is the 1950s, raw, rebellious, and eternally alive. Those 10 songs weren't just hits, they were revolutions. They turned rhythm into rebellion, melody into movement, and teenagers into dreamers. Even after 70 years, the fire still burns. Because rock and roll never really grows old.